Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 99 of Court of Swords.
99.
99.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's it. We're just all going to scream 99 for the next 4 hours. That's it. It's the episode.
You know, going into this episode, I seriously, I was like, oh, it's episode 99. How many times am I going to shout 99 every time we say what episode it is? I figure I got at least one more or maybe two more in me.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Max, go back to where you were. Like, lean a little bit forward. Perfect. I looked over and I was like, did Max get an afro?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Just glanced at it. I was
You
like,
look a little Lionel Richie there.
yeah, very much like dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I was going for.
I like it. I like it.
Christmas tree afro.
You also inversed your camera, so it says PH or 9H.
Shit! Hold on.
Because I don't remember doing that on my end. I think that's on your end.
I think I did that. Let me figure that out.
Yeah. I could flip it.
Boom.
There you go. Now it says HP.
The thing is, I flipped it and I didn't go like this. Because I'm a professional when I do these things.
It's true. It's also probably
This
flip
way, not this
horizontal and not just like a weird arrow that looks like it might be the right button, but you never know. And it's a gamble every time. You never know.
It is a weird. No, I'm an XSplit right now. It's got the arrow.
Oh, you're doing.
I see the same thing you see.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Let's continue talking about the features of XSplit, the not sponsor of the show. As we continue on here,
They've got a preview editor.
Yes, it's true.
Promotional consultation provided by fucking nobody. Nobody paying us. Stop it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I might be getting paid. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I've never realized how close the Discord thing is to the Twitch glitch. That's the Discord thing, right? That's very Twitch glitchy.
It is. It very much is. Yeah.
These talks do make me thirsty, like Adam was just.
Yeah, but now it looks like you're drinking a weird European drink. It's like
Everybody just trying to jam in their sponsors all at once.
Yeah. That's
But if you've got a big thirst, a monstrous thirst, try one of these.
And
Dan's reaching for it. I'm excited for the Wendy's sponsorship.
What's he got?
What's he got? What's he got?
Welcome to Dungeons
What
and
are we
Dragons.
doing?
It's not the only game where you can slay a monster.
What are we doing?
You guys tried any Corsair products?
Oh, nice.
Oh fuck.
Good.
I can already see like the person that types up the intro summation.
Yeah.
Like the whole crew sells out hard.
Do you guys play chess? Because I've got these chess pieces that are just the best.
This whole conversation stinks, and I have the perfect thing to clean it up with.
All your text is backward. Why is the text backward, but your camera's
Now
correct?
we're just
Max? How
grabbing
does that
shit
make-
off our desks.
What? Oh, because it's shining backwards. You were seeing it correct when it was the other orientation.
Oh,
Like the way
it's
that
shining
it's displaying right now.
backwards. I
Yeah,
see.
it's because it's shining backwards. It says HP on either side, just the way that it's casting right now.
I
On
see.
that side of the triangle lantern,
Gotcha.
it shows it backwards. So I have to reverse everything else. So instead of Chicago, it's Ukage.
Ogachi. Something like that.
Ogachi.
I'm not even.
Oh, God, kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ogachi.
Let's move on. Move on. Max, you get any of this snow up in Chicago, by the way?
I did.
Yeah?
I did get it in Ogakik.
Yeah. How much snow have you gotten thus far? The weather. It's great to talk about. It's not a hot topic though.
I feel like right now it's probably like around 5, maybe 6 inches in some places. Nothing too crazy. You got probably more. I think
we
you guys
got like
hit harder.
10 or 11 inches. It's supposed to snow on Saturday, by the way, when you guys are here. And then on Sunday,
Fantastic.
we're supposed to have a high of 11. It's going to be great. Very spicy. Yeah. Super
Yeah, we got
fun.
that Arctic blast hitting the nation.
Yeah. I feel bad for Adam and Zeke because both their flights are like 7 a.m. So waking up at
I love it.
6,
I love an
5
early
o'clock.
flight.
It'll be good.
I love it. I love getting
I love
on
it
the
when
plane
I'm
early.
actually awake and, up for it properly. Once I'm up and I'm awake and I'm good, yeah, it's fine. It's just the process of getting up. Sucks ass.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get up, they go to the airport, they get a coffee, they're like, oh, it's so early, I gotta try to wake up. Me, I stay in the funk as long as I can. I'm like, don't wake up all the way. Just stay mostly asleep. Just get on the plane and then out, just instantly out. And then I can just cruise out the rest of the plane. It's perfect. But if I wake up all that way, I'm fucked. I'm like, oh no, now I'm awake and tired.
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
I try to stay in that the groove, like the sweet spot there, but it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. What have you been up to besides talking about the weather, Max? What have you been playing?
I've been alone in this house.
That was a very depressing look down. You're just like,
It's because it is slightly depressing. What do you want me to lie to you? I've been great, JP. I have been.
Yeah, you're awesome. A broadcaster, of course. Just lie and sell the fucking happiness.
It is your job to lie.
That's our fucking job.
Is lying.
I didn't realize we were all liars here, but I guess you're right.
Yeah.
JP, I've been fine. It's been great. I made an omelet earlier.
Nice. What'd you put in it? What type of omelet are we talking here?
Put some slightly grilled onions with green and red peppers mixed in, salt and pepper on that.
Oh, nice.
Then I put that aside because I didn't want to put that in raw. So you like get it a little browned, a little bit, little softer. And then just a regular fucking omelet with cheese, shredded cheese, some jalapenos, some ham, some.
See, I'm believing it.
Chipotle Tabasco.
Did you eat this omelet alone or with like somebody cool? Because if you're gonna lie to
by
us,
myself,
keep it
like a fucking sad person that I am.
Nah, you're supposed to say something like, well, of course, Adam. As I always do on Tuesdays, I have my breakfast with my good friend Shaquille O'Neal. Me and Shaq, we like to start the day off right with a good omelet. Like, go ahead and just go.
Shaq isn't in Chicago. What the fuck is he doing here?
There's probably a sports ball game there that he's commentating on, obviously.
He doesn't give a shit about the Bulls. The Bulls suck ass. No one cares about the Bulls.
What?
Damn. It's not 1996 anymore, Chicago.
They fucking suck. Okay, I've seen them play in person. They're ass.
All right, Oscar the Grouch, thank you very much. Let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. More about my depressing life. Yeah, no, today I made an omelet and then I just fucking watched half of like a Hunter S. Thompson documentary. So that was fun.
Sick.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's
great.
Yeah.
So now I'm just resisting the urge to talk like this all the time, you bastard.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Me and Max were on a podcast last week, the D&D Dragon Talk podcast, by the way, if anyone wants to watch that. Should be coming out on MP3s, I think, Thursday. And the VOD should be available. And Max's internet connection died halfway through the interview. That was real fun.
It did. Good old Comcast decided to not call me, as I double-checked with them when I did talk to them the night previous. Like, you guys are going to call me, right? Before you do anything. Like, oh, yeah, we'll call you. Guy stumbles out back and just cuts the line. I'm like, great. Awesome. So I was on, like, my phone for I don't know, like a couple minutes, and then eventually it came back, and it went well overall. Most of the interview, I had a connection solid, and then towards like the last 20-ish, little snip of the line. But the line's fixed now. It's no longer not underground as it should have been.
That's good.
Well, that's good. Yeah. My favorite part of that was not that your internet went out, but the second that your internet went out, since we were using a different call program, the entire overlay shifted, and I went down about 3 inches on the actual overlay, and you were gone. And I was just like, I'm really glad that other people also experienced this bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sure the production was real happy about that.
Yeah, they were. Because the best part was they fixed it, and then like 30 seconds, you joined in on your phone.
I joined back.
So I just go back to being off camera. Yeah,
good shit.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, then I was also on there twice, as Chad is pointing out right now. It was a fun time. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were on there as me for a second. You were filling both. Like you were Maharib and Berg right now. If we were to take these boxes and compare it.
It was very fun.
I always, I usually don't read stuff in chat all the time, like on verbally, but I'm always impressed by how professional JP Max are in those. That's all fake. That's when we're lying. We're doing interviews like that.
I have to. Yeah, I definitely read up on my business jargon before I go into interviews like that.
Not really lying. We're just changing the way we talk. We present ourselves to be. It's much more real when you're here, right?
Yeah,
like, I guess.
We can curse.
Not that we're lying. It's just you want to make sure that you don't fuck up their show is the thing.
Right.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
It's important. It's important. Mr. Adam Coble, you look very. I would say you're lit today. You look very lit.
Thank you. I'm feeling lit. I got some new lights. I had umbrellas and I replaced them with soft boxes, and I went from 45 watt bulbs to 85 watt bulbs.
So that's a lot of wattage.
Much brighter.
I was going to say you were brighter. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So I've been meaning to do that for a while.
Also, your lights are brighter.
Hey. Got it. Yeah, I've been playing around. I'm doing some weird new stuff with my lights. Like I've got a light behind me now. I got this bulb.
Oh, you're trying to get that halo going on?
I got the fucking halo going. Yeah, it's nice. I'm applying. Turns out all of the lighting bullshit that I know from photography, it's the same discipline. And I was like, why? Why does my office, like, why is this such a shit setup? I should fix this. And so I did.
Yeah.
Now it feels much better. Though I can't look anywhere without like going a little bit blind. I need to adjust my eyes now.
I don't like that, especially when gaming. You'll find that it sucks more with the glare, especially with glasses, because you're resistant, glare resistant film on your lenses, unless you haven't reapplied. I haven't done that, but man, that shit goes quick. And then all of a sudden, you just take your hands like this and block your lights. You're like, oh, so that's what gaming is like without giant ass fucking.
Well, so it's, I mean, positionally, I don't have like this monitor there's some glare in the middle of it because that light's bouncing off of it, but I've got it set up so that the light is hitting me and I'm not getting too much glare off the main monitor. Like it's still pretty contrasty, so it's working okay. But yeah, there was like a solid like 2.5 hours this morning where I was just like moving things, moving the fucking tripod up and down, up and testing things and adjusting shit, and just it wasn't perfect and it was driving me crazy. It's still not exactly the way I want it, but it looks a lot better. I'm feeling good about it.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Thank you.
I'm interested for you guys to see the lighting that we've chosen for the set because it's much different than prior.
Yes,
so
so
hopefully it won't be in your eyes, Max. It's a very soft light. So we'll see how it goes. It's also only a singular light. There's only one light source in the entire room.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I'm so
I
excited.
think I have an idea what it is.
It's pretty fancy. It's pretty fancy.
Is it?
I can't wait.
Is it very diffused?
It's a well, yeah, there is some diffusion going on, but apparently the jargon, the industry term for it is a Chinese firecracker. That's how it was pitched to me.
It's like the big one light. It's like big one light source that's probably like top middle.
Kind of, yeah.
It diffuses everything, like, and it's just one giant light source that has soft light.
Yeah. The light guy's like, yeah, you need a Chinese firecracker. I go, what? He goes, oh yeah, just figure that out, make it work.
Googling it.
That's what we did. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Adam was doing already.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm like, I've never heard of that before.
I think that's what it's called. I might be getting the terminology wrong. You guys might just
a lot of fireworks here.
Shit. Yeah. Anyways, you'll see it on Friday. It'll be fun. Mr. Zeke.
Well, and that's. I was just saying before you carry on. That is the thing I think that people who are getting started in like broadcasting miss out on, and why everybody's all excited about this new like lighting thing that just came out, the like panel lighting. Like it's not gonna just make you suddenly look good. Like you got to know how to put lights up. Like this is people's jobs that they practice.
No, you don't.
And so you got to practice. It's a lot of like fiddling with stuff to get it right.
So you're saying this camera I just bought, I don't just plug it in and it works right off the bat? Because that's what Max pitched it to me as. So
I mean, it kind of does actually. Not hard.
I mean,
if I have to hit some buttons, I mean, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you all about. I'm gonna tell you all about ISO. We're gonna talk about aperture.
I took a photography class in high school, so I should probably use some of that, right? Like it.
Nope. Yeah. All of that is useless now because cameras are completely different from when you took the class, probably.
Yeah, some f-stops, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
some apertures.
Were they mainly analog or were they digital when you were using them?
It was in that weird in between time where like people still had like my camera was analog, but other people in the class, the rich kids of the class, had the
most things
shit.
You learned compared to today's photography, which is all digital, useless. Same application but different way it works. Same like basic stuff you're doing, but digital's.
Yeah, I got you.
Yay. I'm talking out of my ass. Let's move on.
You did the very depressing thing where you just stared down again and just kept talking.
Listen, if I'm anything, I'm hopefully real.
Are you talking to Malcolm? Is he underneath you? Is that what? That's what I'm gonna
Malcolm?
Picture.
Hey, buddy.
How do you think I get through broadcasting every day? Malcolm's right there. He's like, it's okay, bud. You got this. Just stop talking. You got it.
I got it. Mr. Ezekiel III. How goes the CD-ROM life? The old school PC games. I saw you were playing like I don't know, whatever that weird RTS game was, if you can call it that.
It is, yeah.
DOS box, I think is what we call that game.
Yeah.
Because that's what I saw you playing. I saw you playing Why Won't This Fucking Thing Work? the game.
It is so crazy. First of all, let me just say the game you're talking about is called Sacrifice.
Yes.
It's from 2000, and it is chock full of very well-known names, voice actors and conventional actors alike. Like Tim Curry is in it, Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, Jennifer Hale, like the most prolific, female voice actor all time, Guinness Book wise. Who else is in it? Oh, Yakko, Rob Paulson.
What the hell?
Yeah. Keith. Oh, what's his name?
Keith Urban.
Keith something.
Urban.
He's done lots and lots of voices. But yeah, it was really good, and or the voice acting was really good. The game actually wasn't that bad. I thought I'd hate it because, or I didn't think I would like it because it's real-time strategy, but it ended up being a pretty fun game. They kind of ease you in, and then one mission they just go, all right, you've learned everything. Now let's take off the gloves and put on the fucking brass knuckles. And that mission was just like, Jesus Christ, how do I win?
Huh. Okay.
But I mean, it was fun. It took me 4 hours to install it because I refuse. Now, here's the thing. People were like, why don't you just get it's on GOG, it's CD-ROM-a-thon.
Yeah.
The whole idea of it is to play it from the CD.
Right.
So I won't like take any like files and replace them and or buy the game somewhere else and play it even though I own it, blah blah blah.
Right. It's like radio stations doing records sometimes.
Yeah.
Do that as like
But so it took me 4 hours because you have to go into like the DOSBox files and change like compatibility settings, like screen functions and all this kind of stuff. And it was the sound that was that I was having trouble with, which is usually the case for these kind of games. It's the sound.
Yeah.
Like I tried to play I didn't bring it in here. The Daedalus Encounter from I think 1995.
That's the one I saw you. I saw you fucking wrestling with that one and just being like, oh, buddy, this is that content.
Yep. And that is with Tia Carrere from Wayne's World, like fame, like where she got her start or whatever. But it's full of motion video stuff.
I want to talk about Tia Carrere for a minute because this isn't the first time she's come up on RollPlay, and I want to know if it's just Zeke and I always talk about her because I feel like we were talking about Relic Hunter like not that long ago.
I don't remember.
And every time she comes up, I'm like, Tia Carrere, man, I wonder what she's been doing. Like she's just one of those people that just kind of evaporated as soon as the 90s were over. It's like, bye Tia, good job.
She got dusted. Thanos. She was part of the snap. That's what.
Tia Carrere.
Yeah. It happens every once in a while. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I wanted.
And Wayne looks on with a tear in his eyes.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to mention was that I have a drastic jump and decline in viewers when I am installing.
Oh yeah, the process of installing. People like seeing people frustrated, man. That's all.
It's like
it's the same.
20% more people watch. Like we'll watch the install, and then I'll lose like all of those once I get the fucking game going.
Yeah, I mean,
the only exception to that rule was Star Trek Klingon, which was short, sweet, and it had Robert O'Reilly as Gowron, which is the fucking best.
That's great.
I still have chunks spitting out of me because he was done on the scenery.
Yeah,
awesome.
Every once in a while, Dan will do like a mod stream. I think it's pretty similar too for him viewership wise, where the act of installing mods is what people are super interested in. It's like, I've played Skyrim before. Let's go ahead and just let's go see what else is going on.
I just love fielding suggestions from the chat. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Like I'll get like 20 different experts in the channel going like, I swear to God, if you do this one thing, it'll work. And then I do that one thing and it doesn't work. And they're like, I swore to God that would work.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Max?
Is it just as easy as having a CD-ROM on your new computer and then you just put it in there and then those bitches run just fine most of the time, or do you have to like put it in some sort of compatibility mode and all that shit to make them run proper?
You gotta do a lot.
More often than not, if it came out, because I'm playing older games, they fall usually between 1995 and 2001, 2002. Like that's where the nostalgic like sweet spot is right now. But those games do not play on your awesome fancy new PC because they have no compatibility. They're like the CD is looking for Sound Blaster, and you ain't got that shit. You ain't had that shit for 10 years at least.
Yeah,
you got to install like virtual machines like DOSBox or Oracle or that kind of shit to get.
That's what I was asking. I didn't know if it was something as simple as like using the already built-in like most compatibility stuff that Windows has, or if it's like downloading, like you're saying, like tricking the disk to thinking like you're running on this machine.
Most of that stuff, Zeke, correct me if I'm wrong, was like from the Windows 3.1/95 era, right? So you usually have to run like a DOSBox with that setup on it.
I have Windows 3.1 and Windows XP.
Oh, okay, XP. Yeah. Okay.
For virtual machine.
Yeah.
Sounds
fun. But I'm thinking of getting 95 too.
Because I've played a decent amount of like CD-ROM games on 95 and on XP back in the day, and I was like, there's no way that shit's gonna work on on today's stuff just outright. No. Did you play or has anyone suggested Star Trek Borg?
That was one of the first ones I played, not this month, but I played it like a while ago.
I want to play that
there's a few characters in the Star Trek universe that are always like whenever they're around, it's a winner. One is John Delancey and the other is Robert O'Reilly. Like
as soon as you mentioned,
I'm in.
As soon as you mentioned Gowron, I looked him up on Memory Alpha, and I'm just sitting here like, fuck yeah, Gowron. Like, and he's got that, like, because I think what happened was sometimes they would hire an actor who's like not a TV actor, but like a Shakespearean actor, and they would just overact so hard. And Gowron is one of those where he's just like, I am in the scene now. Everyone shut the fuck up and look at me. And you're like, okay, it works for a Klingon.
Yeah, but it works so well for a Klingon because Klingons are like that. Like some of them are.
Oh, and the whole game,
Duras sisters and shit, or not Duras sisters. Duras was the other guy. But,
I know what you're talking about. But no, the whole game, like I'll talk about it more on Drop Frames, but the whole game was basically like centered around giving a non-Klingon a Klingon like test and rite of passage kind of a thing. Yeah. So he was like Gowron was like the main character. He was testing your metal to see if you could hang with Klingons. It's like going to the backstage of like a Poison concert and the band's like, you got to drink this whole bottle of Jack if you're going to hang out. You know,
if you don't drink the whole bottle of Jack, you'll never make it to Stovokor. So come on, Stoki Patak.
Oh man,
I love Klingon so much.
Oh, and the other good thing about Star Trek Klingon, it has a Klingon like primer. Like it gives you tests and stuff so you can learn like Klingon words. It's so good.
That's cool.
So good.
Anyway, that's what I was doing. And then all the off time, I've been just playing Magic like fucking
still addicted.
Goddamn addict.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we going to be seeing you at the house?
No, they don't have Magic on mobile yet. There's no mobile.
Okay, so are we going to be seeing you at the house? Your laptop?
I'll be standing behind JP going like, hey man,
you need something, Zeke?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. You can just use my setup if you need that fix.
Don't enable him.
If you need that fix, Zeke, you can just use my setup. It'll be good. Mr. DansGaming, have you found the power of balloons yet? Are you about balloons?
Yeah, I got Balloon Ra, and everything's different now.
Yeah, the game. So you just beat the Tron world then?
Yeah, just beat Tron. I'm on the Pinocchio world now.
Oh, okay. All right. You might be able to finish. I'm trying to see.
Which world is when everything goes, what the fuck, story-wise? Like,
I can't tell you what world it is because it's a major spoiler.
Okay.
You'll know the second that you get to the world where you're just like, oh, okay. It makes sense now. This is probably the world where everything gets fucking crazy. But the last 3 hours of that game are just bonkers. There's so many like revelations that happen and so many things where you're just confused 1 second, understand it a second later, and then even more fucking confused 2 seconds after that.
Yeah, because like having replayed the whole Kingdom Hearts series for the second time, I get the story now. Like I finally understand the story from start to finish, and apparently this game is about to mess all that up. And
the end of it definitely throws a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to talk. Just get to the end. I hope you get to the end of it before
I'll beat
Friday.
it so we can talk about it.
Yeah, if you beat it before you come here, I'll definitely just be like, we'll geek out like we're 14-year-old talking about StarCraft 2 or whatever the fuck. Talking about Kingdom Hearts ultimately, I guess, because that's when those games were out. Yeah, it'll be good times. Apart from that, what else you been doing? You've been grinding Kingdom Hearts for basically all of January, right?
Yeah, I started on the 1st and still going.
Yeah.
Just one more full game left and then a couple movies and then we're caught up.
Yeah. You're going to
play a lot of Kingdom Hearts.
Are you playing 2.8 as well?
I'm on 2.8 with Dream Drop Distances on there.
Sorry, are you playing 0.2 as well?
Yeah, I'll be doing that right after. I hear it's only like a few hours long.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 hours, but it's basically Kingdom Hearts 3 with a little worse engine. So you get a good taste of what the game's going to actually be like with that, which is good stuff. Did you check out the Resident Evil demo at all?
I haven't, because usually demos nowadays are just like a part of a level of a game. So like you spoil that level for yourself when you finally, and it's usually one of the best levels that they put there.
Yeah,
to get you into it. So I don't like to do that because demos used to be like where they would be like something different and separate or just a unique experience, but now they're just like a level chopped out and put by itself.
Yeah, and
for a horror game, you don't want to spoil those like moments for yourself. That for me, but I know some people just can't wait and they just want to play right away.
Yeah, it apparently is like supposed to be the most successful Resident Evil just from pre-orders alone right now. So I guess it's doing
7. Like put a lot of faith back in the series. Like it was when it came out, it was really good and scary, minus the boat part. But the whole house section was like really good mix of modernizing Resident Evil, making it scary, putting good gameplay in there as well. So the series is back.
Yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully, 2 keeps it going.
Yeah,
because what I'm seeing, 2 looks amazing. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, did Max or did anyone else play that demo, the Resident Evil 2 demo yet?
No, I'm like Dan. I'm waiting to play it. I want to play it all kind of fresh.
What demo? What?
The RE2 demo?
No.
I was waiting for a really big revelation when you went like, but no, you were just very subtle. I like
That's the misdirection.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about glasses.
Yeah.
How many gold?
I know we're running out of time. I know we gotta do the episode quick, but I wanted to take just like a half second. JP, did you watch the Spider-Man trailer?
Yeah,
did you watch it?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Jake Mysterio Gyllenhaal?
I think it looks great. I think it's weird that they do what? What was that, Max?
Are they rebooting Spider-Man again? Live action?
Oh, no. Jake Gyllenhaal's not Spider-Man.
Jake Gyllenhaal is finally Spider-Man. Finally, after all this time. They've decided to make a 42-year-old Spider-Man. Guy, it's time for one. It's time for Dad Bod Spider-Man to come into his own. Jake Gyllenhaal. And then later, they're going to switch it up, and they're going to get Donald Glover to play him, but not until Donald Glover's like 50. You got to wait. You got to wait your turn.
Yep.
Oh, he's playing Mysterio.
He's playing Mysterio, yeah, in the new Tom Holland movie, the new Marvel Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It's a little weird seeing Mysterio being this like super fucking handsome dude when he just wore a fishbowl his entire comic life. So that's a little weird, but I guess they can't have like they can't do what they did with Vin Diesel with Groot, right? Like they can't just say one line and then you never actually realize that it's Vin Diesel unless he's promoting it. So
what they got to do, because Mysterio is the master of mystery, right? He's an illusionist. So what's going to happen is at the end of the movie, Spider-Man's going to beat him, and he's going to pull off his Jake Gyllenhaal mask, and it's going to be Rodney Dangerfield underneath. And be like, oh, it was an illusion all along. And he's going to be like, oh, hey, you, like, I don't get no respect. I'm Mysterio. And then that'll be the movie. It'll be over. Listen, I work for Marvel now, so this is my new job. I was going to hold off and not tell anybody.
I hope it is.
Here we are.
I hope that's what happens. Yeah.
What happened with Spider-Man?
Yeah, go watch the trailer, Max. Just watch the trailer.
What trailer? I don't.
It's the new Spider-Man trailer, Far From Home. Go check it out. Okay. Unless you don't want spoilers.
You literally type SPI into Google, it will just throw the.
So basically, you could have easily said same Spider-Man series that they have with the same actor.
I did.
What with Jake Gyllenhaal?
I said Tom Holland Spider-Man. Same one.
Got it.
Yeah. It looks all right. It looks fine. I'm Marvel doesn't have to do anything to get me to go to the theater to see a Marvel movie, so
It's true.
I'll be there
That's true.
regardless.
Spider-Man
They've been doing pretty
Euro
good.
Trip. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I heard, speaking of non-Marvel things, that Aquaman wasn't shit. Was it shit? I don't know.
Dan saw it, right?
Yeah,
What'd
I
you
liked
think,
it.
Dan? Let's get a Dan movie review. Here we go.
It's as close to like a Marvel movie as they've ever gotten. It was good enough. The story was good enough. The cinematography was amazing. Like the technological stuff they had going on was just like, it's a great movie to look at. The dialogue was a little weak. A lot of like really weak
Well,
ass.
it is a
And
DC movie, so
yeah, you had to like grit your teeth
the
through some of
fucking
that.
thing. Here's the thing about DC, right? So when I was a kid, I was Marvel. I was getting straight A's. I was like a great kid, good student, never did anything wrong. And my parents eventually were like, okay, great, another good report card. Good job, Adam. My brother, he was DC. He was churning out the shit report cards. He was like, I'm getting C minuses, getting C's. He gets a B one fucking time, and everyone's like, hooray, you're the best. And I'm like, I'm over here being Marvel movies, and you're getting the fucking accolades for your B. What the hell? What the hell? They don't get credit for that
encourage
shit.
Progress.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and that's exactly what I told my little brothers. I went, don't do what I did. Don't get good grades right off the bat. Go ahead, go shoot for C's and D's, and then when you get an A, you're gonna be in the money. Because I did A's and B's, and I get nothing.
You get nothing.
Expected every
That's
time.
right.
Yeah.
And you end up in that situation where your parents are the JP in this situation. They're like, good job, you made another great movie, fantastic. I'm gonna go. Like I'm not even question it, but like good work.
Yeah.
But yeah, DC, and they're just like, look, Mom, I got a C plus, and suddenly everybody loves them all of a sudden.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
why,
it's
Out of here.
I show up on time and everybody's like, "Yay!"
Yeah,
did it,
right?
bud.
Exactly, Max, you're the DC of the group. Good job.
it's true.
Thank you.
You did it.
Appreciate that.
That's a good, yeah, I like that. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, I think Aquaman is like one of 27 films to cross into like the $1 billion earnings or something like that. So it's doing well for DC. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a second one. But
They like fired everyone that was connected to any of the other movies. They just cleaned house after Justice League was
yeah,
a train wreck of a movie. That was so bad.
it was
They fired
entertaining. But
everyone.
it wasn't the Avengers. Let's just say that. It wasn't that first Avengers.
It had
movie.
moments, but never has Batman seemed more useless in a movie than
Yes.
that one. He was
Yeah. Anyways, don't go watch that. Don't do that. Don't watch a DC movie. Watch a Marvel one instead. It's much better. It's good. Hey Max, did you make your goals?
Hey
What's
Max,
a
I noticed
goal?
you're down. How'd you feel if I kick you? Well, a little bit while you're down there. Well,
See, but
you know what?
I put myself out there to be kicked. All right. I didn't have to mention anything about me being on time, but I knew it would be funny,
No.
so I
Yeah.
did.
Well, and that's the great thing about doing 100 episodes of this thing with you guys is that we get into a groove. We understand,
Right.
It's like Max knows that we're all gonna bust his ass about stuff, and we don't mean it. We actually don't totally disrespect him like the way you might think we do. And so in response, he helps us out by saying stupid shit and letting us talk shit about him. So
Exactly.
we're a team. It works together. I'll
Synergy
save you for
right there.
last.
Yeah.
Max. I'll save you for last.
Thank you.
So let's see. Just as a recap for where everybody's at and what the players, the characters know, and what we as players and audience know. You have we spent all of the last session evading the necromantic doom bubbles of the Bodax that were infesting this former moon temple. Fighting your way through that, you found yourselves in a little flooded valley. There is a shattered dam up in the mountains, and all of the water from there is rushing down into this valley and seems to have been for some time. You're surrounded by ruins of this temple and its environs, and that maybe goes out like an hour's walk in any given direction. Like, it's a little temple complex. There may have been a village here at one point, but it's all been washed away. And nature has spent some time reclaiming this area. You are in an area that is full of wildlife. It's been grown over with vines and plants. It's going to be a slog getting out of here because you're walking through, you know, depending on how tall you're all quite big boys. But for Ramus, you know, waist deep water. And it's going to be warm. There's going to be mosquitoes. I hope that you all got your malaria shots. And in the distance, in the jungle, coming up from the jungle, you can see the monastery. You see its shape in the distance. Hard to tell how far away it is from where you are, but you have a direction. So that's where we're at. Let's talk about goals. Ramus, what would you like your goals to be for today?
Find a clue to lead me to the cult. Keep that one.
Yep. Okay.
Get everyone in the party to the Temple of the Sun alive.
Okay.
And figure out what's happening to the landscape. Why everyone and everything is gone.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So the technical name, the name of this building, just so we can get into the habit of it. The name of the building, Yotazo and Ramus would know this. You know it as the Monastery of the Sun. It's a monastery rather than a temple. The only difference being that a monastery is a place of worship where monks live. So it's like a complex. A temple is simply a place where you go to worship the arcana, and it's like a giant version of a shrine. A monastery is like a community. People live there. So including at one point or another both Yotazo and Ramus Krill, though not at the same time. Cool. Okay. So find your way to the Embers of Imix, figure out what's happened to the landscape, and get everyone to the Monastery of the Sun alive. I like it. Maharib, what would you like your goals to be?
We will keep save Yotazo and protect him from last episode. Okay. We'll find the trails. I don't necessarily know if I could find the Embers of Imix, so I think find the trail of the Embers of Imix is probably
okay. Yeah, kind of what Ramus has.
Yeah, alongside Ramus. And then the final one will be find out which side Berg is on.
Right. Find out where Berg's true loyalties lie. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yotazo, what would you like your goals to be?
One is arrive at the Monastery of the Sun.
Yep.
2 is rejoin or learn the fate of my family.
Okay. Yep.
And then I want to do the third one, but I'm having trouble wording it because of the revelation that I had. I want to heal the Court of Swords. But I want to convince this party that is like the right thing to do.
Okay, so convince my allies to like agree to my plan, or like you have a desire.
I don't have a plan. I just want them to just have a mind change, or not even a mind change, but like see like how when there's no structure, shit falls into entropy and chaos, and everything suffers.
Okay, how will you know that you've accomplished that goal? Like,
I think this
is one of these things where the easy way to know would be that everyone else in the group has their own goal in alignment with yours. Like, that's a lot of work. You could break this down too. You could be like, pick the easiest person, and then be like, convince this person to join my cause. then convince this person, right? Like break it down, because your ultimate goal is to fix the Court of Swords. And there's a ton of little goals that you can build up around there. So starting with convincing your friends might help, and then by picking. So who would be your first target for that? Who would be the first person you would try to sway to like your cause?
Well, probably the most malleable would be Berg.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to start with Berg?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do convince Berg of the rightness of my ideals or something. God damn it.
I mean, that's not bad, right? Like all you have to do is get Berg to agree with you that that's what has to be done, right? That you have to like save the court or whatever.
Adam, my goal today is to agree with whatever Yota says.
That's not a goal. That's not a goal.
Says you.
It's not. No, it's not. Yes, says me. It's my job to say that.
What sort of power do you have in this realm? All right, absolute.
Let's just make it, put it in really simple words. Convince Berg to agree, or get Berg to agree to help heal the Court of Swords.
You're gonna have to put it in simple words if you want Berg to agree with whatever.
Court good, entropy bad. Berg agree. Okay, got it. All right, Berg. What would you like to do?
Well, the current two ones that I have that I still think
help cure.
Speak with Agni.
Yeah, help cure Ramus. And
God, that better be worth a shit ton when it happens.
Oh, it happens. Yeah, I promise it is.
So we only have one goal to fill, and yet it's still hard. Okay, so we're by this ruined temple, this area that's
I mean, yeah, you don't know how close, but you have a goal now. You can see it. Someone else would probably have to tell you, like, hey, Berg, that's the Monastery of the Sun. But
okay. I got a little mixed up.
I
thought we came out of this ruined temple, and then that's where.
You came out of a moon shrine or some sacred place to the moon. And you can see peeking above the terrible tangle of the jungle, somewhere in the horizon. You see,
right? Isn't that where Ramus wanted to go back to?
It's where Ramus and Yotazo both want to go. Yeah.
Oh, well, then I guess, yeah, that makes sense. We just help Ramus and Yota
get them
to the Temple of the Sun and get out.
Okay.
Or we could just say get to the Temple of the Sun so I can just get some experience.
Yes, don't say get in and get out. Get in is one goal and then get out is another one.
Yep.
Because then you can actually get some XP on that. Yep. Yeah. You got it. Good.
You gotta watch what I say around you.
Well, no, I mean, you can always tell me, like, I need help phrasing this.
Perfect example, Far Verona. I'm like talking and speaking my mind like I do, right? I'm like, oh, okay, we can get in there. We got communications, unless they have a jammer. Shit, they might have a jammer. And then Adam's like, they might have a jammer.
Now that you mention it, that's a great idea. Wait, are these venomous? They are now. All right, cool.
Are we good for goals?
I think we are, yeah.
Okay.
We're squared away.
Someone in chat brought something up. Zeke and Adam were supposed to be on Dragon Plus, I think is the name of the show today.
Yeah, Dragon Plus today.
But one of the hosts over at WotC had some stuff come up, so I think that got delayed. We'll probably have them on, or they'll probably have them on in a future show, but we don't have the exact date for that just yet.
Yeah, I think the plan is to do our interview as sort of like a post live show, so we can kind of bookend it and talk a little bit about how it went and what we think of it in Court of Swords and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. Keep tuned in for that.
Yeah, and then just to remind everyone, in case you haven't heard us talk about it 1,000 times already, episode 100 will be happening this coming Saturday, the 19th, starting at 1 o'clock Eastern, for the live show at the premiere, I guess, of the. Let's call it Studio RollPlay. Let's not call it the RollPlay Studio. Let's do Studio RollPlay. Yeah, that's
like it's like a weird club in New York in the 70s.
Yeah,
can we get like a big neon sign?
That was what Scott wanted, and that's what we're calling.
That's the fallback plan if it doesn't work in its current function.
Yeah, and if you do want to get caught up,
leisure suit.
I will also release this episode as an MP3 on probably Friday morning. That way the patrons can still get their money's worth in terms of getting it early, but then I'll release this on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff Friday morning. So you'll have about 24, 48 hours to listen to it. So that's that.
When we all fly there, can we all just agree that if anybody strikes up a conversation of where you're going, we're just going to be those assholes on the plane that are like, oh, we're going to this studio. Don't mention what it is. And then they're just gonna be like, "What studio? What do you do? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Oh,
That
you know, it's just
conversation is
studios.
dangerous. That conversation is dangerous to have because you start up here and you get down here so fast.
Yeah.
You're like, I go to the studio. Oh, what do you do? Listen, I'm going to play Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so just leave me the fuck alone.
This is
For
gonna
thousands of viewers. What are you gonna do? Okay.
this will delay the start of the show, but I'm going to tell the story because it's quite funny. So we had to go. We're using another overhead camera for the TV on the table, but it's on a track this time instead of just being on like a. How have we done in the past? I guess to not get too specific on that. But in doing so, we had to like kind of create this weird connection so that it would get on the track. So I had to go to a local hardware store, and I'm trying to describe to the guy what I want. And I said, "Yeah, we're gonna hang a camera above this table that we're shooting on, and it's gonna sit at the top so we can kind of get a close-up shot of the table." And the guy goes, "What are you doing on the table?" And in my mind is like, well, I could tell him we're playing D&D, or I can just act really weird and just say, we're playing games.
I feel like the only I wouldn't even be able to stop myself from just being like fucking, just fucking deadpan eyeballing him.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah.
what do you think? What do you think I got all this camera equipment, all these lights for?
What's
For
that?
porn, obviously, dumbass. Come on, stop asking questions. Sell me that wingnut.
Yeah, Scott's gonna say hi. Oh, his shirt's green screen. You're gonna get me banned. That's bannable. I'm not even gonna be able to do episode 100. Zeke's got butt plugs that he's showing, and I gotta.
They're chess pieces, please.
Anyway,
Magazines are for the articles.
yeah, I'm gonna have to delete this one later. Jesus.
Oh,
That was
man.
great.
Turns out I rolled bear on the random encounter table. All right, so
Start the episode.
So-
Quick. We gotta move
yeah,
on.
so we silliness aside, we fade in on the group of you, shielding your eyes from the glaring sun as you come up from the traumatizing underground tomb that you've just escaped from. In the last like 3 hours of your life, you have been hurled through time and space by the moon bridge. You have been assailed by the undead in a dark tomb, and now you're in this murky jungle wetland as you come up out of the tomb. You're all like pretty exhausted. Yodazo, you particularly have felt the sting of the Bodak's claws, and as the group of you emerge, you figure probably looking at the sun, you figure it's probably like early afternoon, and it's immediately like, when you step out of an airport into like a really humid city you haven't been to in a while, it's just like sweat instantly, just like exhausting, heavy heat. What do you do?
I show my belly in the same fashion that Scoots just did.
Okay, you just yank up your armor and run around.
Yep.
Good. Okay, you can make a performance check to see how good your truffle shuffle is if you want, but I don't really care.
Does this look familiar to me? Like anything? Like can I kind of gauge where I am?
You do have a landmark, right? Like you can kind of try to triangulate. Make a history check.
Okay.
Let's say DC. When was the last time you were the last time you visited the Monastery of the Sun? It's been years.
Let's see. I'm gonna say probably like 60, 70 years ago.
Right. So like a fucking long time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's say DC.
There we go.
Let's say DC like 18. DC 18.
Okay.
Survival or history, whichever you're better at.
Adam, spin the game up.
Either
We're
one.
doing this.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn it.
You got a 12. Yeah, you've never seen this dam before. That's the triangulation point, right? Where you're like, okay, I recognize that obviously you're somewhere within distance of the temple, or of the monastery, but you're not you're not sure where.
Okay. Are there any like I'm just thinking of like lakes, rivers, something like that will lead into So water, like a water source, is a good thing to have if you're traveling.
Yeah, the problem with the Court of Swords is that, I mean, this is a problem and a benefit. There are rivers everywhere, right? Like in the middle of the court, like it's called the Riverlands, and it's just like just shot through with like water. And obviously there's a source of water that is flowing down into this valley, but it's like stagnant mosquito country down here.
Okay.
My nightmare.
Yeah, I kind of survey the area, trunk in the air, kind of snuffling around. And I kind of let's see. Ramus has said you've said you've been here before, right? Or like you've told us that you used to live here.
Yeah, I used to live in the Monastery of the Sun, but never really left it very much. So I wouldn't know much of the area around it.
Okay.
Are we like waist high in water, Adam, like right now?
We're still you're about to be. Yeah. There's like this whole area used to be above water, but it's not anymore. And you'll have to go slog out into the water to get anywhere.
You said we can see the temple. What we don't know it to be the Temple of the Sun, at least Maharib doesn't, but we can see that building.
Yeah, you can see the silhouette of a beautiful kind of like ornate looking building. And I think that Berg, you recognize the style, the architectural style, as being like in the image of heaven. It reminds you of your time there, but yeah. You don't recognize the building itself.
Is it the highest?
They don't make arches like that anymore.
Is it the highest point in this, like building wise in the sky, Adam?
Building wise, yes, but to the west of you, there is like the kind of hazy beginnings of some hills, which is where the water is rushing out of the broken dam, and then beyond that, you can see mountains, off in that distance.
The temple's the closest.
Yeah, yes. Like I mean, it's the only landmark around that isn't more wilderness.
Okay. Would it be like an intelligence roll to see if I could decipher like how far away we are from that temple?
It'd be a survival roll.
Okay.
And you could try to use it. You'd like make an educated guess.
I'll take the survival roll.
Okay.
A big old 7.
It's hard to say because it's like there's a bunch of jungle between you and there. It's it's on the horizon. You can see it. It's not like a tiny point, like a long way away. But you don't know. Like there could be a valley between here and there that you just can't see.
Okay. Is there any? Can I make a perception check to see if I can like sense? I guess what I'm trying to do is like sense life, like birds flying around. Like, can I just see that, or do I need to make a check for it?
I mean, make a nature check, and I'll give you some info. Yeah.
13.
You got 13. Okay. So on a 13, yeah, it's clear that this place, despite the creepy gray-skinned creatures that you just fought down below, it's clear that this this area is verdant with life. There's all kinds of stuff. You can hear birds in the trees. You can hear the buzzing of insects. There's life for sure.
Okay, that kind of puts Maharib at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he takes like the first step towards that, towards the temple then, and looks back and kind of points to it. Says, we should head there. Be the best to scout out what's around us and where we are.
Do any of you have experience out in the world tracking or trailblazing, so to speak.
Yes.
I've only lived in this type of environment before, yes. Why do you ask?
I was just seeing who would lead the way, because it's been a long time since I've been back home. And it's changed a lot, as you can see.
Was it not always like this? I just kind of gesture out my hand to comment on the overgrowth.
It was lush and beautiful, yes, but it was never out of control like this. Everything flourished. The plants, the animals, people, the waters, everything worked in a harmony, because not one specific thing was ever took over the land like this is.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it must have been 6 or 7 decades since then.
It's always been hot and wet and full of people that don't, ironically, go in the water they're surrounded by to bathe themselves.
That's also true. From Ramus's perspective, certainly. Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll find civilization in that structure. They'll know more. He points to the temple.
Keep an eye out for any sort of landmark that can mark our path, that can find out where we are exactly.
Please do.
But I hear the water and the insects and the small animals, but I don't hear any people.
That's true.
Well, if we stand around, we'll just continue having more questions. We should look for answers. That looks like a great place to start. Unless the three of you have another idea.
No. I'd rather not stand still in the hot sun. I'd at least like to work or sweat. At least one way of staying cool.
Fair enough. And I think I just turn and start walking towards the temple.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you head off, slogging your way through the flooded vale. So yeah, hours go by, and the sun hangs overhead, beating down on you, keeping the air this wet kind of heat. You can find some ground here and there, walking along the edge of a broken wall or something like that, but for the most part, you're soaked, whether it's from the water underneath or from your own sweat soaking through your clothes. It's exhausting. And fairly quickly, you find that you need to eat and drink, right? You start to get parched and dehydrated. So what is the food situation as it occurs to you? Let's take an inventory of your rations and your water supply and what have you. So I know, Yotazo, you have a magic jug, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
And I will forego
water?
the wine of it. I can produce a gallon of water each day.
Okay.
I think. Hold on. Let me look it up actually, so make sure, because
you
it's
should
different
definitely-
amounts.
You should definitely check.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, 8 gallons of fresh water.
8. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So that's enough. That's enough water for everybody. If you just use it for water every day, that will generate enough water for everyone to drink every day. What's the food situation? What do y'all have for food?
If we want to drink one day and then eat honey, because I can produce a gallon of honey the next day if you want.
Because that's not a good diet.
Honey and sugar.
Anybody with like any kind of survival training or anything, you'll probably need, because the conditions are super hot, you need a lot of water, right? So you figure with 8 gallons, that'll probably cover you. Everybody needs to eat a pound of food a day, right? Or 1 ration. So what's everybody got in their stuff there? Like, is anybody carrying rations with them?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been a long time since I've looked at any sort of rations or food or anything. We have had bigger concerns, but
yeah,
I can lie to you
like
and say that I have some rations.
I mean, I have a fresh explorer's pack, and as a mercenary, I think it would stay fresh, especially before we go on a journey. And I've only used, if anything, 2 or 3 rations before we were actually in the major city that we were just in. So I'm okay starting with 8.
If you haven't eaten any rations from your pack in the game so far, then yeah, I think just the journey from the border down to the town, and you didn't have a chance to refuel. So yeah, you've got 8 days of rations for one person.
I think most of the time in the past too, I haven't really touched my rations, because usually when we camped, we had me or somebody like that scavenge for food, because of being like an outlander.
Right, you've got your outlander.
I've done that. Okay. Like I remember rolling for that and stuff. Yep. You're like, yep, you catch some.
Let me take a look at what that does for you. So the outlander background means that you. Oh, this is you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth. So yes, if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to dedicate yourself to finding food and water for your allies, then that's
unless others have an easier option, or we'll do it. Yeah.
That there's definitely no, like, unless you're talking like magic, there's not going to be an easier.
It's okay. Heaven will provide.
Rain down manna upon us.
Yeah, I mean, sure. That's basically what's happening. You just
like
go out
gross ass toxic sludge starts raining.
Yeah.
It's really the other way around. You just go out and a bird flies into your mouth. Like you're fine.
Perfect. Nice.
So it will slow you down somewhat, because you have to like take time to go out and like search for food. And then come back with it. So that'll slow you down. Maharib, you're aware of that. But otherwise it means you won't starve. So that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
So the day goes by, and you have this clear vision ahead of you of the temple. So it's easy to follow. It's like your North Star. But it's going to be a lot trickier, and you realize this, Maharib. It's going to be a lot trickier once you get into the jungle to like stay on course, because you won't be able to see it anymore once you go under the canopy. But for now, I would say, can you make a perception check for me, Maharib?
Can I somehow enlist the aid of the group, or do you just want me to do this by myself?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody else is gonna like keep an eye out while you're walking around, and like stay aware of the situation, then yes, you're welcome to have advantage.
Okay. All right.
That would be me for sure. Like I'm looking for any signs of like familiarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Cool. Here's the roll. Hey, big old 13. Thank God for advantage. Keeping those ones in season.
So let's see. With a 13, and with Yotazo's help, I think you probably, as the day comes to an end, as the sun mercifully begins to dip below the horizon, you get a better look at what's going on, and yeah, you figure there's probably like another like 2 days of traveling through the flooded area before you reach the edge of the jungle, and then from there, who knows?
Okay.
You figure you traveled probably about, because it's slow going, probably about like 5 or 6 miles today in the like 8 hours that you traveled. Now, if you want to, it occurs to you, Maharib, right, as everybody is starting to kind of like feel that like we're calming down, we're running, everybody's tired, it's getting dark. Now you could push, you could be like, no, we're not stopping, we're gonna press on, or you can stop and try to find somewhere dry to camp. What do you do?
I think Maharib just pushes on without saying anything, because that's what he would. That's like, that's in his nature. That's what his like culture would kind of do. They just accept that you just keep going until the leader stops, basically, and there's no questions ever asked. So, unless someone in the group says like, "Hey, we need to stop," Maharib just keeps going.
Interesting. Okay. So does anybody say anything? Like it's been a miserable day. You're exhausted and hot and
and probably hurting from the rot that our flesh has, went through.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exhausted from the battle of the night before or the day before.
Not me.
Yeah, you're feeling fine, buddy.
I walk up to Maharib as he's like trudging and kind of like hacking and pushing and all this kind of shit. And I just say, not to be the voice of contention, but do you plan on pushing through the night? Because if so, I will go with you, and it might be beneficial to push through the night and sleep during the day, seeing as how miserable and hot it is. But I was just curious as to what you planned on doing, because even a man as mighty as you requires sleep, I'd imagine.
He takes like 2 or 3 more steps after you finish your question, and then just kind of stops in the middle of nowhere and turns around. Are you tired?
Yes, I am, if you must know. I not used to facing undead, angry spirits and then trudging on throughout the night and day. So I'm not ashamed to say that I am exhausted.
He looks past Yolta and at Ramus, who probably just looks miserable at all times. But does he look more miserable? Are you gasping for air, Ramus? Are you?
I think my face is kind of blank, not really showing much.
Okay.
Not really bothered me. I'm just sort of trudging along.
Jesus, is this the part where we pan over to Ramus and there's like a fly crawling across your face and you don't even notice? You're just standing there.
Fly on my eyeball. Just don't really feel it or care. Just
okay. That's telling in its own way to Maharib. What does Berg look like in this? Just kind of trucking along.
Trucking along, sweating. If he is exhausted, you can't tell.
Okay. So yeah, I look back past you, Yota, and then look back at you. And, the longer that we are in this place means the longer that Ramus potentially drains whatever is left of that husk he calls his body.
Very well, yes, but we have no idea what may lie in wait for us. And if it's something as bad or worse than what we faced in the temple, then I'd prefer to be a little bit more rested in such a case.
If we must rest, we go at least until there's a good place to rest. I don't want to be out in the middle of this shit.
So looking around you in any direction, you would figure you're probably like another full day of slogging before you get anywhere near any dry land. Or you could stop and do like a perimeter search and just look for somewhere that's dry, but that'll take time.
That's what Bergless means more. Bergless means more. No, Berg means less that, he wants dry land, more just like, hey, here's something that's a little bit better than being right in the middle of a fucking swamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something. Even if it's just like perched up, like we camp up next to like a tree where there's sort of kind of some ground, but it's still kind of wet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should continue for an hour or two. We'll keep an eye out for a place much better than this. Not as wet, but if we stop now in the middle of this, I do not believe it bodes well for us. Is that all right with you, Yota?
I go with the group. I'm just bringing up any concerns that I might have for the well-being of the group. But I'm prepared to push on.
I understand. And he looks back at Ramus. I know you can hear me, but I figured my words would not bother you to begin with.
Berg is very, very tired. He needs to rest. He's very upset with this wetness, and he needs to rest.
Perfect.
Or like looks at you.
Look at that face. He's very mad.
Berg, I find words help more in this situation than a face. Are you tired?
Berg's like looking very confused. Like, why is he saying that? He knows I'm not.
No, not really. I've
See, he's delirious. He doesn't know what he's saying.
been through worse than this. If we need to move, I can. No point in having someone die, though, too, if they're too tired.
Looks at Yoda.
I do not believe Yota is close to death. We are wasting much time discussing
I
this.
agree.
We'll continue to march for a couple of hours and then take a rest.
Do you need me to carry you, Yota?
When Burke says that, Yotazo, an image flashes back from your childhood of you as a young boy with your parents in a massive like gilded palanquin carried by 30 orc slaves as part of a parade. You remember opening the curtains of the palanquin and looking out and seeing like 1,000 shining faces, people who are dolled up for a celebration, looking up at you as if towards a god, and your mother giving you flower petals to throw onto the crowd to bless them. And just this moment just like pops into your head when Burke says that.
Well,
I feel like bringing up the idea of resting has given you all the wrong impression. It's not that I am too weak to continue. It just seems like if we're to run into any sort of trouble, it would benefit us to be at our best. I guarantee that None of us right now are at our very best.
No, not at best. But stew can kill. Talk less, move more. Let's go.
Mahari,
Very.
go ahead, Zeke.
I'm not standing in anyone's way. Please. Walk until you die.
Would not be the first time.
In the future, if I turn around and ask if we need to break, let's keep it to a yes or no. He just turns and starts walking.
Okay, so you want to press on. All right, so you've got an hour, maybe 2 of daylight left before it becomes too dark for anyone besides Berg to travel without light. Everybody needs to make a Constitution save for me for this first hour. DC is 11.
You said con? Sorry.
Yeah, con save DC 11.
Okay.
All right, everyone pushes on, no problem. I mean, you're tired. Your legs start to complain. You're pretty sure at this point, like you haven't pulled your feet up. You haven't had dry feet in a whole day, almost. And it's miserable, but you can keep pushing. It's basically dark now. It's dim light for everybody. You hear in the distance, over the mountains, you hear a rumble of thunder. Whether the storm will pass over the veil or it'll turn and go a different direction, hard to say. But yeah, you've got maybe another hour to push on. Will you?
We're gonna get boot robbed. It's gonna be so great.
Before it gets dark.
Yeah, I think we push on. Again, Maharib doesn't consciously think of stopping.
Maharib just goes and assumes everyone's gonna follow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Do another round of Constitution saves. DC 12 this time. All right. So Ramus, it is you are the one whose body gives out. You're gonna take a level of exhaustion, and then what happens? Like, do you like stumble and fall, or do you do you say nothing and just push on and just suffer?
I think like I take a step and I just like go under the water. Like I hit like a spot that's too deep and then I start falling in and someone has to pull me out. I'm under the water struggling.
Berg, are you closest to Ramus when this happens?
So I
when
rolled
Ramus
perception
stumbles?
too. If 12, I'm assuming 12.
Yeah, because you wanted to like keep an eye out. Okay, so yeah, I think if you want to be there to like grab Ramus as he stumbles, Yota and Maharib are, I don't know, maybe like 20 or 30 paces ahead of you, and Ramus has slowed down a little bit and he stumbles to fall, and you catch him.
I think Berg specifically stayed back behind to keep an eye on everyone, including Ramus, because he also had the feeling that Ramus was tired already.
Yeah.
The suggestion of wanting to rest, obviously for Berg. So he's just like, I'm going to keep an eye on him. So the moment he starts to go down in the water, Berg just grabs him.
Yeah.
Keeps walking.
Okay. Yeah. So you scoop him up. You don't say anything. You just pull him up to his feet. And
don't say anything. The others.
Yeah.
Just immediately as he sees him going down in the water, he just grabs him, picks him up.
Okay. Darkness falls. And with it, the auditory environment of your journey has changed. Instead of the sounds of birds from the jungle, you now hear insects. There's the buzzing of nocturnal insects rising up in the cool air from the swamp. You can see kind of dotting the area around you, little like glow flies, basically like fluttering around. And it doesn't get much darker, really, but it just the air becomes choked with bugs, buzzing and biting and slowing you down. But the time has come to rest or to press on. Maharib, you seem to be leading the charge.
Yeah, and it's been a couple hours now, right? So I think
yeah, you pushed on 2 hours past. You've been walking through this swamp for 10 hours straight.
Okay. Yeah, I think I turn and Yota's probably the closest to me because he said we were like 20 or 30 yards ahead.
Yeah.
And I turn and look straight at Yota. And, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, but I'm not the one you should be asking.
What does that mean?
Look. Ramus can no longer walk on his own feet without the help of his companion.
Berg needed help. I'm holding him up.
Or vice versa. I'm sorry. I meant the other way around.
To himself.
But I'm ready to press on.
Do I have any sense how far we've actually traveled, Adam, or no? Because we've just been under the canopy.
No, you haven't. You're outside still. You can see the moon rising and like the sky. It's cloudy, and it's hard to there's no thing to look back at, but you can guess based on how close you are to the edge.
Couple days still, or
yeah,
couple hours.
Like it depends on your pace tomorrow, but for now, like you'll never make it to the jungle today. Like even if you pushed on, the sun will come up and go back down before you get there.
Right. Okay. I think I address the group and just say, we still have a day or more journey. Is probably cause for concern. We should rest now. It's not going to be comfortable though. He kicks up his boot, just splashes water around.
Rarely is.
We'll see if we can find someplace better than this. I think, well, I don't really have a light source.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's dark now. The moon veiled with clouds is the only source of light. It's not a clear night, so your visibility is pretty limited, and you're just standing out in the swamp getting covered in bugs.
Berg, do you want to look for dry land around us?
I can. You don't happen to have a house you can just make out of magic, do you?
No.
I thought not.
No, I do not possess that.
All right. I'll go look.
If you're not back within 5 minutes, I'll start walking down that path.
Or just nods and keep going.
So
yeah, we're just waiting. Or at least Maharib's just waiting.
Yeah. So you just hang out here. Does somebody light a torch? Or you just stand out in the darkness as Bird goes looking for?
Would it make sense if a torch is lit that more bugs are attracted to us because of light?
The smoke will keep them
smoke.
away. It'll attract some and repel others.
Okay, then I think Maharib probably would light a torch. Actually, it's only 5 minutes. I think we'll just wait 5 minutes to discern what to do. Because Berg's going to come back.
All right. So the three of you hang out in the dark.
Yeah.
And we crossfade to Berg. So Berg, you're out in the swamp alone. What are you looking for?
Looking for anything that even is remotely better than what they're in currently. Even if it's just slightly raised land where rather than just being complete slogging through swamp and mainly
just somewhere to. So you're looking for a relatively dry spot to.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fully dry. Even if it's something perched, we could camp around a larger tree or something like that. Something that has roots that's coming out of the ground that kind of lifts up the ground around it.
Make a survival check.
Fantastic.
Nope. So here's the thing, all the trees in this valley were knocked down by a terrible flood right? Not that long ago, like within long enough that no trees have grown back yet. So you find trees that are just broken off, shattered. The only stuff that's stuck around was kind of low vegetation, and it's all been like waterlogged. There is enough water here that there just isn't any. There isn't anywhere that you can like climb up out of the sludge around here. You're walking through like a shallow lake of hot, gross bath water.
Is there enough? I mean, long shot, but is there enough trees that are broken that are not so big that Berg could kind of like move them together to form a shitty raft? Not even a raft that moves, just something to be on top of.
Do you have an axe?
I got a hammer.
Yeah, not really.
See, I
like,
might have an axe. Whatever. What does that come with my normal pack?
I know the answer to this question, and the answer is no. I was just asking it as a courtesy. You definitely don't have an axe. So yes, the idea is sound. You could like potentially like chop a bunch of these like low trees and like gather together some stuff. And if you had rope or twine or something, you could like, you know, tie up and make like a raft, and then try to sleep on it. But it would be challenging.
Well, if I can get this straight, I can pulverize really, really horribly powerful enemies, but I can't use my hammer to bash together some logs into some makeshift thing to be on top of. Am I getting that right?
So what you're asking me is, can I use a weapon designed for killing people to sledgehammer down some like not totally dead trees and chop them into pieces?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was the hammer of heaven, Adam. I guess I'm not. I guess I'm a little bitch ass.
Listen, man, if the trees were the enemies of heaven, then yes, you could. But it's not that kind of hammer, dude. It's just, it's not a feasible plan.
Well, at least somebody's laying the hammer down right now.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. So yeah, it's just not, you just don't have the right tools for the job.
All right, I go back to the group and say we're fucked.
Okay, sure. So, how long, Maharib? How long did you give him?
5 minutes before I followed.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, the 5 minutes is not a lot of looking time. So pretty quickly, Berg, you realize like we're pretty shit out of luck, and then Maharib, you see him. I mean, so Maharib, you can't travel in the darkness, right? You lose Berg like right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had a light source, you could go find him.
Okay. Yeah. At that point, I'd light a torch and again, Maharib just starts walking and expects the group to follow, like expects the caravan, as it were, to follow behind. But if he walks 10 or 15 feet and Yota and Ramus aren't following, he turns and says like, I'm going to find Berg. Are you coming or not?
Oh, did you want us to come? People in our society, like, we express what we want with words.
Yes, I apologize for that. Yes, please follow it. I'll explain another time. Yes, please.
Fine. I whispered to Yota, are you well enough to travel?
Are you?
Let's
Let's
tired.
go. Indeed. This is what we get for traveling with people who pretend that they feel no pain.
Indeed. Let's push on. I want to get out of this water.
Me as well. And I kind of help Ramus up, and I walk beside Ramus behind Maharib to make sure like he's doesn't like lose his footing and stuff. And then I kind of call up to Maharib, not like loud, but enough so he can hear me. You know, you don't make a bad leader, but I think you would be a better suited leader for soldiers, and not people of different sensibilities like Ramus and I.
I would agree. I've only traveled with mercenaries or my people who follow blindly, as it were. They don't ask questions, they don't complain. It's what I've known. So again, I apologize.
No apologies necessary. As I will not apologize for not having the same mind as you. However, I think that there's a better purpose for you, as I have stated in the past. It seems like you are walking that path without even knowing it.
Perhaps. I worry that you are pushing this heavenly dictated hierarchy on me when, if I were in that position, the queen, the king, the knight, and the page would not exist. There would simply be a king or a ruler, a figurehead, as it were.
I understand that. But put a measure of... Now, I'm sorry, Adam. I don't mean to stop the momentum here, but
No, not at all.
is there like explosives, black powders, anything like that in this, like fireworks or anything?
Yes. Oh, totally fireworks. The Court of Coins
good.
has like cannons. Court of Coins has cannons and stuff too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Maybe you haven't had cause to see the sights of dazzling lights in the sky. But you know the thing that makes them burst. Put one in your hand, and then you singe the palm. Close your fist around it. You could destroy the entire hand. Imagine that's you, trying to take on and dissolve the court. You singe it, but if you were within it,
I believe you're alluding to politics. I want nothing of that.
what you call politics, I call leadership.
Then I want nothing
You
of
can't
leadership.
very well take on the gods by yourself.
He kind of like looks down at the ground. I think in his mind he's like, "Watch me," but he doesn't necessarily say that. Like the internal monologue is like, "Watch me," but he looks back up and says, "When we come to that crossroads, we'll make that decision. For now, they are wasted words. We should find Berg. We should continue this conversation, though, in the future. There is some merit to it."
Very well.
And then, yeah, we just keep walking. The camera like
Head off to
stops
find
as we
Berg.
head off into the forest to find Berg.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Berg, where do the others find you when they come looking for you? What are you doing? Are you trying to chop down a shrub with a hammer, or like what's going on?
I mean, Berg's stupid, but he's not stupid. So if he knows there's no way for it to work, he's not gonna, or if there's not enough vegetation or trees left in the area, he's just gonna try to head back then the way he came.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you turn and you see your friends approaching, and you reconnect out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I think the first thing Maharib like points out at or rather, like, makes a motion towards Berg and says, "You there? What was the name of the man in the town who sold the noodles?"
Doug. Why?
Just making sure you are who you are, Berg.
Doppelgangers out in this swamp.
I like. So you were like bashing in this tree.
No.
Okay.
I think he was looking at it, considering whether it was possible to bash it or not.
Yeah, you might have been walking up like while I was like studying the area, like looking at the surrounding area, and then I probably turned around and walked towards you.
Yeah, I see you like looking at the. Or I caught you maybe before I motioned towards you or spoke to you. So there's something with that tree that you were. I don't know. What caught your eye about it?
Was thinking on whether or not I could make platform something elevated, higher, less wet.
Adam, if I like look at the tree, it's a task, right? Like that's a ton of work to
So
do
there, when we
something.
say trees, they're not trees. Like there
bamboo?
were trees here at one point. There were trees here at one point, and then a big flood knocked all the trees down and killed them.
Right.
And they've been rotting. They've been rotting in the swamp water ever since.
Okay.
There is like vegetation, but it's like big thick vines and stuff running through the ground. You'd have to pull them up and like, yeah. The
It's a
only
lot more
wood
work.
that's around. Yeah, the only wood that's around is like dead logs that got stuck in the mud. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, I think I just look at the group. Do you have a preference where we camp? Perhaps that wet spot or that one? That was a joke.
No. I know.
We're not going to find shelter, so I guess we set up camp right where we stand.
Yeah, like camp is like you kind of like lean against each other, or like lean against a rock and kind of like settle into the mud. Like you're trying to find a place where you're sleeping in mud instead of water. And it's rough going. It's a hard night.
Yeah.
The bugs keep you awake. The water is everywhere, and it just gets like hotter and hotter the closer it gets to day. So before the sun even comes up, you start waking up, and nobody gets, there's no long resting here. Like it just doesn't happen.
Is there short resting?
Yeah, like I think maybe you could string together an hour's worth of rest in one night.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and do that if you want to.
No rage
but
back
it's not good going. So when the sun is up again and it starts getting hot, what do you what do you like? How do you decide it's time to continue? Is it just Maharib's like, let's go?
I think once everyone's either, whether they're admitting that they're awake or not, like I'm ready to go at the moment's notice. So the second I see everyone's like up in some form, I think I'm like standing up and going over and like hitting them. We need to march. Like it's time.
Okay. All right.
So whatever
Berg,
time that is.
you have to spend some time looking for food and water. Can you roll? Do you do that in the morning?
Yeah, Berg was probably up early to get.
Okay, yeah, because you have dark vision, and before it gets like too hot, you go out and go looking for stuff. Okay, you don't have to make a roll, but I want to see how long it takes. Roll a d4.
Low.
I don't have to.
Yeah,
make a
you
roll,
want low on this one.
But roll.
No,
a
you don't have to
D4?
roll to see if you don't have to roll to see if you succeed or
You
not. I just need to know how long it takes.
I was just
you.
commenting on the. How
Yeah, the language that was weird. Sorry.
hat.
2.
2 hours. Okay. All right.
Not too bad.
All right.
Not too bad.
Okay. All right. So let's have you. Everybody roll a Constitution save. DC is 13 now.
You said I didn't have to.
This is different. Okay, so Ramus, this journey's fucking rough on you, dude. Like
Makes
you,
sense.
yeah, your body is just like, just bury me in the mud. Like we're done, man. Just fuck this. So you take another level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And like Ramus looks like shit all the time, but like you're having trouble. Like your legs are shaking when you try to stand, and like it takes him forever to eat because swallowing is like painful. And yeah, you're feeling just like bloated and moist, and like your armor doesn't fit right. You're getting fucked up. Yeah, you're dragging a corpse around more literally than usual. So that means at level 2, your speed is halved. So you're gonna have to deal with that before you continue, or everybody's moving at half speed because of Ramus.
Let me ask you something. If we make a makeshift stretcher on the back of my sword,
Exactly
would we move at full speed?
That's where
On
my
the
head's
back
at.
of your sword.
I mean, it's wide enough to carry Ramus, most likely.
You do have a giant fucking sword. Yeah, and it's like it's wrapped, and you could you could take some time to construct a God, and Ramus is just gonna be such a prick about this. To construct like something to carry Master Krill about on.
Yeah.
Yes, you definitely you could certainly do that if you wanted
See?
to.
Okay.
It pays to have a giant ass Final Fantasy sword.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How would he approach this? I think like he sees everyone getting ready, and like Ramus is struggling to stand, and so I walk over to Ramus and like help you up and say,
Gideon, is it time to go? It feels like the Goblin King. I don't know if we can get there in time. I'm just like coming in and out, like I'm just mumbling to myself mostly.
I think
You're there, but I'm not talking to you. Like
Mahari definitely slaps you to just like bring you back into this, and it's not like it's a backhanded slap.
Hey,
Yeah, Ramus.
you barely feel it. Like you're aware of the sound, but it's like when you're at the dentist and your like whole mouth is numb, and you're like they're doing stuff, and I should be able to feel this, but I can't. And so you just feel the hit, and your head moves with the force, but you don't. Like it barely registers as being a physical contact.
Ramus, do you know where you are?
Am I bathing?
No. I'm going to have you lie down on the back of Bahath, and we'll carry you. You're slowing us down on foot.
Sorry, I'm never the best at running.
You don't have to apologize. We're all well aware of your condition. I think I'd like bring Bahath around and tell Berg to grab the other end, and then have Ramus like lie down on it.
So what would you normally do if you and because your people are nomadic,
he'd be
right?
dead.
What
We would have killed him much longer.
I was gonna say, yeah, like what
Yeah.
would you do if you had somebody that was slowing everybody down like this?
Oh, he would have died the first time he fall. If the
Yeah.
like caravan
You just left
leader
him?
knew it, he would have just been left. Yeah. Would have
So what is
drove.
this? What is this like for you? Like, is it different because he's a human? Is it like he's not paying you anymore? Why are you coddling him? You're just making the tribe weak.
Because I need him for the mission. He's part of the. He's the. What am I trying
payload?
to say? No, not the payload. The
Linchpin.
the linchpin, or he's the in with Emmix, so to speak. They've had contact. He's had contact with him
Right.
before, so in this particular situation, Maharib needs him. But he's
Okay.
not.
Right.
It's not that also like Maharib's not a dick. Like he doesn't he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just what he knows, right? Like he's not saying like, oh, we would have just left him. It's the sacrifice of one person for potentially the entire clan, so to speak, from an ambush or anything like that from slowing down. So it's for the greater good, in a sense. But yeah,
Okay.
Ramus wouldn't be alive.
All right. So you
Also-
schlep Ramus up on the side of the sword.
Yeah.
Also, if he
Sorry,
tried
Max,
to
you're
kill
gonna-
Ramus, I don't know if that would go.
It's less.
Well, he wouldn't
It's
kill
less
him.
that
He would just
Maharib-
forget him.
Yeah, it's less that Mahari would kill him. He would just be like, "We're going," and Ramus is like, "I can't walk," and he would be like, "I guess you're dead. Like, bye."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we start marching, and I'm in the front, kind of holding the. Definitely holding the bladed part of the sword. Berg can hold the hilt.
Okay. So the two of you, like, you're gonna get him kind of up on your, like, hold the blade behind you, and then Berg holds the two-handed thing like up on one shoulder and just like carries him.
Yep. And there's rope.
Okay.
Like I wrap rope around Ramus so that he's
Yeah,
like,
so he can't like slip off or something.
yeah.
Okay. All right, Ramus, you're tied to an enormous sword, and you're being carried through the swamp by your friends. So you don't have to walk anymore, so that's nice for you.
It's cutting edge transportation, Adam.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's just a big plank, and it's wrapped around with like oilcloth, so it doesn't, cut you or whatever. But yeah. All right. So you push on.
Also, I have one question just for
Yes.
future reference, and maybe even to change this up. Maybe not, because we've already kind of gone into this.
Yeah.
With a powerful build, I count as one side larger when determining my carry capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Can I just carry Ramus with ease?
I don't know. Maybe like he's got like armor on and stuff, and like heavy armor too. So like,
What's your weight, Dan, of your inventory?
Doesn't really say. It says 27 pounds plus my body weight of like 180.
So like
Okay, so
250
Ramus-
then ish, because I'm sure there's some.
yeah,
stuff
you've got
coming.
let's see, you've got a tower shield, like a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. You're wearing a breastplate, which is another 20. He probably weighs like 225 pounds with all his gear and shit. But you're super strong. So yeah, if you want to like huck him up on your back, you can carry him. Like a little piggyback situation. But,
Okay.
it's easier if you share it with Berg.
Yeah, I'll share it. It would strengthen the. Mahari would see it as like strengthening the tribe because it's working in unison rather than just taking.
Yeah,
it
right.
all
We
by
all
itself.
work together. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
If I may, I also have that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah, you're all big boys.
Yeah, the powerful build thing for being a Loxodon. So
Nice.
I will volunteer first.
Oh, to carry
Yeah,
Ramus.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I'm not super strong, I can do double like you can.
Gotcha. All right. We'll get to that point then. In
Yeah.
duels.
There's a lot of races. There's a lot of races in D&D that can do that. Furbolgs have that powerful build too.
Unless you insist on it, Yota Berg's gonna wave you off because he feels that Ramus is
No.
his responsibility.
And I lift up my trunk and I kind of do this with my trunk, like at you as I'm like getting my arms underneath him. I kind of wave you off and I go, no, if there's any trouble, you and Maharib will need to protect us. So I can do this much. You find us food and Maharib lead the way.
Very well.
Berg like reluctantly like hands over the hilt.
Yeah.
Slowly
And I take a rope out of my pack
Oh.
and like I fashion like a sling to carry Ramus with.
Oh, so you're carrying him by yourself.
I'm carrying him like in the front here, so
Oh,
he can
okay.
see like where we're going, like not on my back or whatever. But like the rope is like around my neck and shoulders and stuff, and like I'll switch off between like the rope will hopefully do the most work, the heavy lifting, so to speak. But I'll like keep my arms under him and use my trunk and stuff. So
Yeah,
Can we get some fan art of that?
it's a Ramus papoose. Is what it is.
I was about to say I am immediately called back to the fucking bodyguard in this situation, right? Like immediately Whitney Houston begins singing as Yotozo lifts.
and then as
Ramus.
soon as that part hits, you just hear and
Oh God.
Yep. It's the elephant trunk remix of it with all the air horns.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ramus,
Yeah.
you're being carried. Yotozo will carry you. And you'll continue through the swamp. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, it's not a question of getting lost. You still have your destination in mind. You have it in the distance, and you set out. And the first like 8 hours of travel, that journey, that's fine. It goes by without effort. You figure as the sun sort of starts to set, Maharib, that you've maybe got like another couple of hours, maybe 2, maybe 3, if you push on before you get to maybe dry land. Things in this area have started to get like kind of rocky, and there's like more and more of the sort of swampiness is drained away. But you haven't reached it yet, but everybody's starting to get tired.
The pace kind of slows a little bit, but
yeah, exactly. This is your second full day of trudging through the swamp. You didn't get a good rest last night. It's pretty bad. But you can see in the distance the trees are getting closer.
Yep.
in case you're like keeping track of like distance or whatever, or the group speed and stuff like that. My like walking speed is like considerably higher than anybody else's, so I'm hoping that factors into like how slow we're going.
You travel as quickly as the slowest person.
Yeah, so it's 30.
Okay.
So for you, Yota, you probably are like, if I was on my own, I'd be there by now.
Yeah.
But you have to travel based on the slowest party member.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if it mattered for me, like carrying Ramus, if that like was a
no. You because you have powerful build. You can
Okay.
you can carry him. You can carry him as quickly as need be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So whereas I think the day prior, Maharib didn't even consider it, like the sun starts to wear down, I can start to see the pace slow a tiny bit. He actually does like turn to the group and states like, we're hours from our destination. Are you comfortable with pushing on, Yota? Or is Ramus being too demanding on you?
No, Ramus is in and out of sleep. Mostly talking about things I have no experience with, or I wasn't there. So he'll be fine, and I'm fine as well. So if you think it would be beneficial to carry on, let's do so. But thank you for asking. I know that's not something that comes to you naturally.
He like goes to speak, but he'll just take the weird compliment. Oh, all right, we press on. I think we continue walking then.
And then I kind of looked down at Ramus, who's probably like, Ramus, are you like just sweating and like lolling like your head?
I think at this moment I'm describing the temple I've been designing since a child. My temple that I want to build someday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure you can't hear me or you're not coherent or whatever. I just kind of look down at you and I just say just to you in a very low tone. I think he's starting to like me.
Okay. So you're going to push on another hour?
Yeah, as much as you'll let
see
us
how closer
before another con save.
Okay. Yeah, con saves for everybody. DC 14.
You want to roll for Max?
Not Ramus. Yeah, I'll roll for Max. Ramus, you don't have to roll because you're being carried.
Nice.
All right, so
What was the
Did you say
DC?
14 or 13?
DC is 14.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, we skipped it.
Okay. Let's see. Where's the? There's
Is that Berg's? Okay.
That's Berg's. He got a 19. Okay. All right. So Yota, you get a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
So you can feel it's like starting to wear on you. So night falls. This is the hour. This is the hour of twilight, right? This is the like it's dark, but not so dark you can't see. Today is cloudier than before. It's gonna get like pitch black quickly, and you push on, and you can see like just ahead, Maharib. You can see the land. You're actually stepping on like dry-ish like spots now. The water is like knee or ankle height, and if you just push on like one more hour, you're almost certain you can get there.
Yeah, the second he starts seeing that, he'll just turn and say to the group, "We're not stopping." And then just turns around and continues going.
Very well, but if we want to continue this way, I must confess that I need a Berg to take some of this load from me for a while.
Okay. I will.
Maharib doesn't
like
stop as they like hand off. He's just on a
Right.
warpath, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Maharib, you get a little ways away. They do the handoff. And as you turn back to look, Maharib, to be like, where are those laggards? Where are they? You see a shadow like pass over them, and you look up, and there are three enormous winged shapes. When you look up, you see they're like a snake-like shape with two enormous like bat wings, and at the end of their body, a barb at the end of their tail. And they seem to have been stalking you as waiting for the night to fall. And as you look up, you see the shadow pass over. You see them limbed against the moon. There is a shriek, a terrible ear-piercing shriek, responded to by two more as the creatures dive down towards you. And I think that's probably as good a place as any to jump to break.
Yeah, we'll take our break.
Let's do it.
Get into the fight
Okay.
with whatever these
Or
things
run.
are.
You could
Or
run for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
We are maybe close.
Really in a good spot to fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
think
so
about it.
think about it on the break.
Yeah, yeah, sounds good. All right, we'll take our break here, episode 99, and we'll be right back with more Court of Swords. By the way, if anyone dies, you're actually going to be making the graphics for yourself, so don't die. For a second.
Perfect.
So do us a favor and don't die.
Yeah, just do us a favor, don't die. Yeah. All right, we'll be right back with more Court of Swords right after this. We'll see you guys then.